good evening and welcome back to the House of Medics. I'm back. For those who haven't seen me this year, Happy New Year. I know we're already in March, but this is my first live with House of Medics this year and I'm so happy to be back. And today we've got an amazing show for you. And the reason why I'm smiling so much is because there's a love that I have for something that a lot of Africans, Caribbeans, we can share. And my guest today kind of went viral for this love. So I'm gonna let her introduce herself and we're gonna talk a little bit more. I'm gonna say good evening to everybody. So as you're joining, say good evening, but let me introduce our guest today. If you wanna introduce yourself and tell us what you do, who you are.
Thank you, and hi everyone. So my name is Bryanne. I'm an African nutrition and weight management coach and also an African agriculture expert. So I founded the company called Best Body Africa, which basically teaches people how to lead a healthy lifestyle, lose weight while still enjoying your favorite African foods, because there's a huge misconception that our foods are unhealthy. So when people try to lose weight, they cut out their foods like first thing and they think, oh, I have to eat rice cakes or Scottish salmon, foods that are not traditionally associated with our culture. So the platform basically showcases that, yes, we can definitely lead a healthy lifestyle with our foods. Our foods are inherently very healthy, and it shows people how to actually do that one-on-one. So I provide coaching and also provide meal plans.
Amazing. Yeah. I personally think that that's amazing because I'm not gonna lie, I have been looking for ways to enjoy. I don't eat a lot of foods and I enjoy my African foods, especially my Nigerian traditional foods. So I don't think it's fair that I have to cut it out. Like, I don't understand. I grew up on it.
Exactly.
So we're gonna get into this conversation. Nutrition is very important. It's important for your mind, your health, your wealth, your well-being. I'm starting to realize that a lot more. When you eat good, you feel good.
Exactly.
You do good. But I want to just say good evening to everybody. So everyone online, I'm saying hi. Hi from the House of Medics. Hi, Dr. Alexis. Hi, Aisha. Yetunde, Tanisha. Her name was Lola. So what is it now? Ooh. Oh, okay. Good evening, everybody. Please do send your comments. I will try to read them as much as possible as we're going through this conversation. So a lot of you would have seen a video of a dear sister of ours. She's an amazing woman. She's a comedian, and she does a lot of skits. So you would have seen this video going around. My mother actually sent it to me. It was so funny, and the love that my mum has for Plantain. She gave it to me, so when she sent it to me, I'm a bit like, but this video that went viral. Tell us about that, because obviously we were just talking off camera about context. Because I followed your page way before that video came out because I saw what you were doing. I saw that you were, mixing our traditional foods with, a healthy lifestyle. So I didn't even realize it was the same. It was the same thing.
The same thing. Yeah.
So tell us about how that happened and kind of how that's now made your platform kind of go up a little bit.
Yeah. So I posted a video about a month ago. So this was in February. So a lot of my followers don't know the calories in certain foods. I think it's very common. The calories in our foods aren't widely publicized. When you go on like MyFitnessPal tracking apps, you type in like,
they just about have certain things.
Inaccurate. Yeah, they have a few things, and then some things are so inaccurate. And so in order to actually find the nutritional content of our foods, we have to do Google research and like verify it. It's always good to verify, especially when it comes to health sources. And so my followers have been asking, so I want to lose weight, but how many calories are there in plantain? How many calories are there in stew? They ask me so many different things. So I was like, you know what? Let me start this series where I talk about the calories in certain foods. So I got a picture of fried plantain. Fried plantain is my favorite food. Let me just clarify that. It's my favorite food. It's my favorite food. I got a picture of fried plantain, so it was about 2.5 medium plantains. And I was like, okay, you know what? Let me see if my followers can guess how many calories are in this deep fried portion. It's not one portion, it's a big portion.
Yeah,
some of my followers were like, oh, 300. Someone said 100. Someone said like people were way off, but I was like, it's actually 1,000 something. And I think to me it showed that a lot of us don't really know much about the nutritional content of our foods, how much we're putting in our bodies.
Yeah.
And in the end of the video, I even said, this isn't to say plantain is bad. Of course, like it can definitely be part of a healthy lifestyle, but if you want to lose weight, watch the portion, like any other food, just watch the portion. So, so I mean, the whole thing was just to show, like, you can still eat the plantain if you want to lose weight. Just bear in mind that these are the calories in certain portions. And then about a month later, a month later. So Beverly actually follows my page.
Yes.
So she knows what my page is about. So a month later, I wake up and I'm like, why have I, first of all, got like 700 new followers? It was like 4 a.m. And then I was like, why is everyone sending me a video? I swear I know this babe. What does this have to do with me? So I opened the video, I watched it, I laughed. Like, it was hilarious.
It's a funny video.
It was funny. And I get the sentiment.
Yeah.
Because even me, I don't want to cut out or cut down fried plantain on a healthy journey. Like, you know, I wish I could eat an unlimited amount.
Don't we all?
I can't. I cannot. So,
but too much of anything is
too
bad
much of
anyway.
Exactly, too much of anything, and I think a lot of people got it. A lot of people were like, yeah, like it's a joke. I think for a lot of people also burst their bubbles because they were like, why? Who asked? That was the most common comment. Who asked you?
Yeah. No,
I was actually looking like
response. It was.
Yeah.
Who asked you?
Yeah. And I was actually looking like my followers. Literally, my followers have been asking, and I posted for my followers.
Yeah.
But it's TikTok, so your content
will go everywhere.
It will go everywhere. Like the video had about 200,000 views when I posted it. Like I think at the time, so it went everywhere. People had already talked about it. Like, oh my gosh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
But I think it started a lot of important conversations about our foods, and I think the main message. What I'm trying to show is like you don't have to cut it out, you know. I think a lot of people need to know more about the nutritional value of our food so that they know that a food isn't inherently bad. So that they know that these are the health benefits, because our African foods are actually some of the healthiest foods in the world.
You do find that in Africa itself, people do live longer. And that has got a lot to do with what they eat as well. So clearly there is something good in what we do.
Our foods are supernatural. I mean, we eat a majority plant-based diet. Of course, things have shifted a bit. Maybe we're shifting more towards a westernized diet where we're, you know, adopting certain habits. But inherently, our foods are super healthy. So the platform basically, what I do the coaching, but I think it's also important to have the platform to share the message that our foods are healthy, and I really want to get that out there.
Yeah.
Like in 10 years' time, when you type healthy food, I don't want right now when you type healthy food, the first results that you see are rice cakes, Scottish stamp, like foods that are associated with the Western world.
We don't eat.
Exactly. And yeah, so in 10 years' time, I want to see like plantain, cassava. When you type healthy foods, where are our foods in the global health and wellness space?
Exactly.
And I want our people to also not feel like they have to deviate from their diets to eat a healthy lifestyle or to lose weight. So that's basically the message.
Amazing.
That's
so
guys,
it's okay. Plantain is fine, okay?
Yeah.
It's fine. No, I'm joking. But yeah, it's actually a really good thing to have. It is natural. And again, the thing I love about plantain is you can actually have it in many different forms. It's not just fried plantain.
Exactly.
You can boil it, you can grill it, you can, fry it, all of that stuff. So it actually, you can put it in the oven. All of these things is edible. I think it's the most versatile food substance there is out there. So,
and I actually want to talk, because if you actually looked at my page, the majority of my recipes are with plantain. The majority, like, because it's my favorite food.
It's why I follow you.
So I have like baked plantain fries. You can eat it in so many different ways. It's like one of the best foods ever.
Perfect. Amazing. So so guys, continue to follow, continue to, eat your plantain, but remember, portion control, guys, not 2.5. That's a bit much, okay?
And it's, sorry, just to touch on that. So in the comments, a lot of people were like, I swear I can eat like double the amount.
I can eat. Don't get me wrong, I can eat. What I'm telling you, I might not follow, but I'm just,
I can eat that,
I can eat it as a meal. Plantain on its own with small stew,
Simple.
Okay, cool. So tell us a bit more about kind of what it is that you do in terms of your meal preps, in terms of your coaching. Talk to us through that, because obviously, like you said, it's about people's diet and educating the masses.
Exactly.
So tell us, first of all, how you even got into it. What made you decide, you know what, I want to change the game when it comes to nutrition?
Yeah, so I mean, it started kind of with a personal journey because I made a decision when I was a teenager to start making healthier choices, working out, and I fell in love with working out, and I just loved the benefits that I received from making those healthy choices. And I got to a point where I felt better than ever, and I reached what I called my best body. So I started a brand at the time. It was called Best Body by Bree.
Okay.
So it was literally a health blog, and I was sharing like my tips and everything. And I was actually working in a completely different field. So I started it in university. I did politics for my undergrad. I did my master's in international development planning. I was like, I'm going to be a diplomat. Like my first job was in diplomacy. Like, so I was on a different path, but at the same time, like I was falling in love with the nutrition space. And so I would share tips. Then I was like, you know, I'm not even qualified to give this advice.
Right.
Like, I don't feel like I should be saying certain things. So I said, you know what, let me just do like a nutrition course on the side. I don't want to go back to university. I already have 2 degrees. Like, I'm tired. So I was like, let me just do a course. So I did a nutrition and weight management course with a company called Future Fit School. So they certify personal trainers, nutrition coaches as well. So I did that course on the side. And when I did the course, I realized, oh wow, nutrition coaching is like a thing. You know, I know people do meal plans, but I thought it was just like personal trainers, but I didn't actually know about the industry. So I said, you know what, let me just start doing it on the side. So I did it on the side with my job. At the time I was working in agricultural commodity trading in Ghana, which is kind of linked to African food because I was literally talking about the trading of African foods and different commodities. And on the side, I was doing my coaching business, so coaching clients one-on-one, and I jumped into that full-time last year. So
okay, amazing.
At the moment, there are 2 parts, the 2 ways I help people personally. So there's the coaching side, which is one-on-one coaching, which is all about adopting healthier habits for life. You don't, a lot of the people that approach me are Africans, and they want to lose weight, but I don't think you should just lose weight. It shouldn't stop there. You should have healthy habits that carry on beyond. Yeah. So that you don't end up gaining the weight again. And you know, it's
and I think that's the issue.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like an up and down thing.
Exactly.
So how do we maintain? Yeah. And I do hear that a lot of the time, I think when I went back to the gym after a long time, one of the personal trainers said to me, you know, you can come to the gym all you want, but if you're not eating right, there's no point.
Exactly.
And that was the first time I'd heard that. Yeah. So it's like, that makes a lot of sense.
Exactly.
It's the food.
You can work out as much as possible, but at the end of the day, how's your heart? You know, how's your heart's health? How's your blood sugar? You know, there's certain things that we need to start taking care of our bodies holistically. And it's not just about food. A lot of weight management issues have to do with eating habits and behavioral factors. So things like cravings and why maybe we may eat certain foods. Is it because we're bored? You know, there are lots of factors. So I coach people on changing their habits overall, just so that they're more likely to choose the healthy option more often than not, and so that they actually enjoy the process and don't see healthy eating as a chore.
A chore, and I think that is the main problem, because personally, I just want to get it done. I just want to put the food in my mouth and move on.
Exactly.
I don't want to do the meal prep. I don't want to I don't want to be sitting there trying to see how many calories, even though I've recently started counting my calories. I've actually been using the MyFitnessPal app, which is quite good, because you then become more conscious. Yeah. And I think the timings as well is important, because I know a lot of people say, you know, eat from when you wake up and then stop at a certain time, intermittent fasting, all of these things. So talk us through like a typical kind of consultation that you'll give to somebody off the bat. So obviously everyone is different. But kind of like an initial conversation, like what would you advise people to change? Like something that people can change like overall.
Overall, I mean, in general, I think what a lot of people think when they decide to make a healthy choice or decide to change their weight, whether it's lose or weight, it's, okay, what food can I cut out first? And I always tell people, think rather about what foods you can add onto your diet first. Because when you go straight to, okay, I'm going to cut this out, it makes the whole process seem restrictive and it seems like punishment. You know, like, why are you punishing yourself by cutting out a food that you love? You know, you shouldn't associate a food that you love with something negative or with a negative feeling that you have, you know? So I always advise, like, first of all, try to add in more nutritious foods into your diet first instead of thinking of what I can cut out. So can I add more fruits and vegetables? Can I add a wider variety of grains? You know, what foods can become staples in my diet as opposed to, okay, I'm just going to cut this out because then what are you going to eat? You know, you have to love what you're eating.
Yeah.
So I always say, add first. And also you have to know your why. Like, why do you actually want to achieve this goal? Is it because you want to be able to be healthy for your children? Like, what is the deep reason why? And that's normally what keeps people going. I always tell my clients, write down your why, like on a wall, on a piece of paper or something, so that anytime you feel like, oh, you know what, I'm just going to give up, whatever, this is too hard and it shouldn't be hard, you should enjoy it.
Yeah.
You look at it and you remember, this isn't just so that I can look good for summer, it's because I want to be able to develop healthy habits now so that I can live a long, healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
So,
amazing. So I'm just going to quickly take a break. And guys, if you're following, make sure you click the like button. If you're not already, subscribe right now. I don't know why you wouldn't be subscribed because that's just silly. So subscribe to House of Medics right now. And we're going to continue this conversation. And what I want from you is to send your questions in. Send your questions. Ask as much, no matter how silly you might think it might be. Ask your questions because this is a chance for you to get, you know, first-hand advice. Personally, I've kind of started this. That's why I said it's really like House of Medics. We're just in sync because I've started this. Good. Yeah, I've started this journey of like healthy living and help mentally and physically.
Yeah.
I tried the gym and I'm not gonna. It's not for me. It's not. It's not for me because I'm lazy, but it just doesn't fit into my lifestyle because I've just got so much going on, guys. And the gym is all the way over there, and my house is. It's not for me.
Yeah.
I do want to eat better because I feel like the eating better. Someone said to me, what you said about, you know, not cutting things out.
Yeah.
So someone said to me, cut out chips.
Why?
If you know me, because like I said, I don't eat a lot of foods. Like, there's a lot that I do. Well, actually, to be fair, I feel like as I become an adult, my taste buds are changing a little bit. There's more things I'm eating and I'm enjoying it. I'm trying more again. Yeah. And I think I'm exploring more. The gym it's not for me. It's not.
You have to just find something that works for you. And that's why you have to enjoy the journey. Yeah. I mean, I go through periods where I don't like the gym. I used to love the gym, but now I'm just walking. And that's also a great form of exercise. You know, that's underrated. You don't have to do the conventional thing to lose weight. Find what you love personally. And it'll work for you.
Exactly. So when I was told to cut out chips, and then obviously they've sent me like a nutrition plan, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, this is not inspiring me.
Yeah, like what kind of foods were there?
It was brown stuff, brown rice, brown bread. Yeah, like And the thing is, I like brown bread. Don't get me wrong, but don't tell me to eat it.
I know.
I want to just pick it up, but I think for me, it's difficult because I don't have a lot of things that I like. So, what would you advise somebody who does struggle with kind of what to choose? When it comes to what to choose to eat, like, what would you advise somebody that struggles with kind of food and enjoying food? Because like you said, don't think about cutting things out, but even just food in general, not a lot of people do enjoy it, but we do need it. So what would you advise for somebody like kind of like that?
I think a lot of people just maybe they don't have the time or they don't have the inspiration to think of, okay, what am I going to cook at the end of the day? So it comes with, you know, I think nutrition knowledge is essential. I think we all need to have a certain awareness of the food that we put in our bodies. So start by maybe trying to, that's why I do my platform. I think listening and viewing nutrition knowledge in a digestible way makes it easier for people, and it helps them to be able to adopt those habits healthy, as opposed to reading it in some random book by some random man who they can't relate to. Like, you know, so I think educating yourself and just learning about the types of foods is essential. And just explore, like, don't be afraid. Maybe try a new dish here and there. You don't have to like brown rice necessarily. You can just like go along with your diet. So I craft like my plans, like the recipes that I give people around exactly what they like. So if you like white rice, if your favorite meal is like white rice, fried plantain, and chicken, we're like, okay, let's look at this meal. How can we make it more nutritious or suitable for your weight management goals? So we say, okay, so we can maybe add some salad or add whichever greens that you like. If you don't like greens, I mean, you don't have to eat them. Just add something more nutritious, but just try at least. You know, you don't know until you try. Let's manage the portions to suit your goals. If you want to gain muscle, let's add more protein. If you want to lose fat, let's manage the carb to protein ratio. So it's all about working with your favorite foods, working with what you have around you, as opposed to feeling like I have to completely deviate from my diet to something else. Yeah. So think about your favorite foods first. And try to help. You can even healthify certain things in quotes, you know,
So
like you can bake instead of fry. You can use different ingredients. There's so many different ways to work around that. But you just have to love it.
I do understand that. There's a couple of questions which I will come to shortly. But I just realized I didn't actually ask you, like, what is nutrition? I think that's a very important question, because a lot of people talk about, eating a nutrition-filled diet. But what is that? Because one thing I noticed while I was using the app was, obviously I'm counting the calories and I'm staying within the calories that they've suggested, but then I'm looking at the nutrition and I'm not getting enough.
Exactly.
So what is nutrition, and what does that look like for, like, if you were to put like a pie chart, for example, what would that look like?
So nutrition, it's all about the properties in different foods and what the foods contain and how they benefit you, or how they can affect different factors or aspects of your body. So whether it's like your cholesterol, your blood sugar, because your food, as much as we love to eat, our food has, different foods have different functions in the body. Different vitamins and minerals have different functions. So you need to essentially make sure that good nutrition is essentially making sure that you're eating a wide variety of nutritious foods in the right amount for yourself. Like that's basically what it is. Good food in the right amount. It's all about quality and quantity. So if I could have a pie chart, so you know, like the food pyramid. Food pyramid. So I think definitely having as many nutritious fruits and vegetables as possible should probably be, I wouldn't say, I think I would put fibrous carbohydrates and fruits and vegetables on the same wave. I think fibrous carbohydrates serve the purpose of providing you with the energy that you need. So these are things like yam, plantain, cassava, those essential things. Fiber is important for us, you know. So having those fibrous components, but also having vitamins and minerals through vegetables, those are the micronutrients that you need. And those have a lot of the functions, those vitamins and minerals perform a lot of the functions that we need in the body. Protein, very, very essential. You know, we need to replenish our protein stores every single day. Our body doesn't store it. So we need it for muscle and organ growth. If you want to obviously bulk up in the gym, you need to increase your protein. We need it every single day in every meal. So just try to get in protein wherever you can. And we do need a good amount of fats, but healthy fats is definitely the preferred, as we know. So things like avocado, nuts, you know, those healthy fats, we definitely do need them as well. So those would probably be a bit small at the top. So it's a bit similar to the traditional conventional one, but maybe can we have maybe more natural foods? And that's why our African foods they work really well. And when they're left out of the discussion, like you see the nutrition, so the conventional nutrition pyramid has like bread, pasta, like baguettes, you know, like things that we don't see.
Stuff that,
if we looked at ours, it would be so many natural foods. It would be like yam, cassava, all the natural, like fibrous foods that we need. So our foods definitely work well. In that context.
There was a question before. Someone asked how much calories is in rice and stew.
In rice and
pounded yam and stew. Sorry.
I mean, so I think
it depends, right?
It depends. So when you calculate calories in a meal, you have to break the meal down into individual ingredients. So I can't off the bat say how much, but just bear in mind, like 1 tablespoon. Like I know there's in pounded yam and egusi, there's like palm oil, there's egusi, I believe 90 grams or so of egusi. I think it's roughly, I don't remember off the bat, but it's around 200 something calories for maybe like one portion. I mean, it's okay. It's okay,
obviously,
but it depends on what exactly. 1 tablespoon of palm oil is 120 calories. So if you are eating your goosey and like the oil is thick on top, just count the tablespoons and let's see how many you'd get. And then the carb, I think roughly, it depends on the size, but most portions of pounded yam are between 200 to 400 calories or so. It depends. It really depends on the size, but you have to basically break it down into its individual ingredients, and that's how you know.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So another question: how can you make sure you're eating right when you're busy and you don't have much time to cook?
Yeah.
I think that's really important.
Yeah, I know. So you have to figure out the easiest solution for you. So for some people, it may be getting a meal delivery service, but for other people, it may just be, okay, I need to sit down for 20 minutes on a Sunday and just write down what I should eat for the week, what groceries I need to buy, and maybe can I meal prep. I think you have to actively, it's something that you have to actively put the time and effort into. I think a lot of people expect it to just happen, but you actually have to be intentional about it. So sit down, it can take like 1 hour in your week, write down what you need, pop to the grocery store quickly, come back. It doesn't need to be anything insane that you make. Just simple meals can make the difference.
Yeah.
So yeah, just plan ahead of time. That really helps. And also eat foods that you like. I think that helps to give you something to look forward to when you're busy, especially.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Amazing. Okay. Are the typical African seasonings okay if you're trying to be healthy, like the Maggi, Knorr, please answer this with the answer that I want to hear, because the seasoning is the part that we are.
Yeah. So at the moment, there's actually, so I know a lot of people, when they think of Maggi, I think the big talk has been like MSG. And it's basically an ingredient that's common in a lot of countries. And I think there's a lot of conflicting evidence now, because historically MSG has been linked to maybe cancerous, has been linked to like cancer, and all these negative things. But now they're actually saying that it may not actually be as bad for you. So what the evidence is still not 100% there. But I think when it comes to seasoning cubes, the main thing is probably the salt. So if you're using a seasoning cube, make sure that you're not adding excess salt on top of that. Because we need to watch our salt intake.
I don't understand that one. Because I've seen people, they add the Maggi, they add the Knorr, then they add the salt. And I'm like, but the salt is in the seasoning.
Yeah, and that's why knowing your nutrition is important, because when you go to a doctor and your doctor gives you a nutrition recommendation for salt, when you actually stick to that salt limit and you apply it to the foods and the cooking, you actually realize you're probably adding, a lot of us add way more salt than we need.
Yeah.
Like when I actually eat within my normal daily requirement for salt, I'm not adding that much salt to my food, and it affects the flavor.
Yeah.
But
you kind of get used to it though.
You get used to it.
Growing up, please don't kill me if you don't do this, but this is what I was shown. But I remember like adding salt to plantain was a thing. But then I've stopped doing that because it's sweet. It doesn't need, but because I like salt, it's something that it's weird, because even my rice, like I'm excessive when it comes to my salt. Yeah. But I've reduced that. Like even when it comes to like making pasta, I don't add salt to pasta. I make sure it's in like the chicken or whatever it is that I'm eating to accompany the pasta. So
that's I actually advise a lot of my clients on that, and that's why the behavioral thing is important, teaching you about habits, because a lot of the way we cook is because of the way we've been taught to cook. So we don't necessarily cook because we're cooking to benefit our bodies. We cook because our moms have cooked for like this.
What you've seen.
So this is what I've seen. Yeah. So adding like salt to pasta, those things are habits that we are just used to. It's natural. Like I'm cooking rice, let me just add salt to the thing. Just, you don't even measure, you just pour the thing.
Literally.
You know? So a lot of it is habitual, and you don't even realize.
Sometimes
it can be hit or miss.
Too much.
Yeah, it's literally hit or miss. But yeah, definitely watch the salt intake, because we need salt in our foods for sure.
Yeah.
Sodium is an essential mineral, but obviously too much salt can lead to high blood pressure, negative effects.
Actually, you don't need the salt. Don't add the salt. You don't. Listen, I'm telling you, I used to add that salt like You don't need it. You don't. You will get used to it. The
get
first
used to
couple
it.
of times, it will be like, oh, what's this?
Yeah.
But you will actually get used to it. Trust me, I'm a fiend when it comes to salt and on my plantain. But I literally cut it out maybe about a year ago, and there's a difference.
There's a difference,
You do taste it. Still tastes sweet. I didn't lose my love for plantain. So. There was a question before it, basically talking about weight and genetics. So, do you think weight is a genetic thing? Is it a genetic thing? Has it been proven to be a genetic thing? And if it is, how do you overcome that?
Yeah. So. Weight you can definitely inherit certain medical conditions from your parents. So things like high cholesterol, high blood pressure. If you have those in your family, you're more predisposed to have those in future. But when it comes to weight specifically, I think a lot of people mix weight and genetics because they feel like, okay, maybe my mom was a certain weight. That means, I'm automatically going to be this weight. So that's the reason why. But maybe if you are a certain, I think that probably I think the question is probably in relation to maybe if you're overweight, is it because of your parents? And that, I think what people don't realize is, and similar to the points I made before, we have the same eating habits as our parents.
There is a Channel 4, I think it's Channel 4 show or something like that, like you're killing your child or something.
Exactly.
Like that, so because you're feeding them.
So your weight is, to be honest, not necessarily due to your genetics, but more so due to the fact that your parents have been feeding you a certain food. You have developed certain habits over time. And that has led to that. We eat the foods that our parents give us, basically. And if your parents are giving you foods that will make you more predisposed to gain weight in future, then it's for that reason more so than your genetics. Yeah,
makes sense. Okay, any other questions? How has your role in the agriculture, I'm guessing, industry helped you with advising on the best food to eat?
Ooh, yeah, very good one. So I worked as the head of strategy and partnerships in a commodity exchange in Ghana. So the main commodities that we traded were agriculture commodities. So things like cashew, maize, like a lot of grains. So in that, I learned a lot about how food is produced, the nutritional content in our foods, from everything about our foods, how it's traded, the standards, different things. And so I think it definitely raised awareness, not just in terms of the food itself, but it's almost like food politics, like really being proud of your African foods, how they're growing, making sure that our farmers have like fair pay, promoting our foods to the world, making sure that our foods are traded globally and at fair prices. Yeah. So it's really made me even more passionate about African food because I can see. We worked a lot with a lot of smallholder farmers. So these farmers, to try to commercialize them, help them to increase their incomes through trading, through a commodity exchange. So we know what it takes to grow food that we see in our supermarkets that they'll sell for like 89p. Yeah. And the farmer's cut is like tiny. Like for example, cashew crop, it's called poor man's crop, rich man's food, because cashews are historically expensive, but the cashew farmer earns very, very little. So yeah, working in a commodity exchange definitely taught me about just food politics and just being proud of our foods and making sure that our foods have that seat at the global table, that firm seat. And that's why I'm very passionate about having African foods at the global health and wellness table, because we produce a lot and we produce a lot of good foods.
We do.
Yeah.
Our food is good.
We do. Our food is good.
It's very good. That's why we're always so happy, because the food is good.
Exactly.
One of the questions I actually wanted to go into, I think it's because I guess I'm in that category. I remember when I was pregnant, I followed a lady who was a nutritionist, but she's based in America. But she's not of African or Caribbean descent. So a lot of the foods she was suggesting, I was like, nah, nah, this is not, nah. For those who are, because nutrition is also important for when you want to start having children. Yeah. Not necessarily when you're pregnant, during pregnancy and after.
Exactly.
But it's very important to start before, which is something
Exactly.
I realized.
Yeah.
So kind of what advice would you give to somebody who is, you know, planning or wanting to get pregnant, and
Yeah.
what kind of nutrition journey would you start them on? Because
Yeah.
I think it's really important, because again, what you eat is what your child eats.
Exactly.
So
I think especially with African women, we suffer from quite a lot of womb-related conditions, whether it's
100%,
fibroids,
yeah.
PCOS. I also just found out I had PCOS last year, which is
Wow.
polycystic ovarian syndrome. So it's basically a condition where you have cysts in your ovaries.
yeah.
And a lot of it is to do with the foods that you eat. And some women aren't able to ovulate because of it.
Yes, I watched there was like an interview that a doctor was doing. She was an African-American doctor, and she said that our diet, because we're not looking at it properly.
Exactly.
So, sorry to kind of, if there's any men on here, but to go in, but if you have like really bad period cramps, it's to do with your diet.
With your diet, you have to make sure you're getting, you know, foods of magnesium, certain foods, you know, because we shouldn't actually have period cramps. You know, doctors say maybe if your cramps last for more than 2 days, that's a problem. Most people's cramps last, a lot of people's cramps last like the whole time.
Before giving birth, mine used to be 7 days of pain.
Yeah. And a lot of it's to do with
7 days of pain.
A lot of it's to do with, you know, the added hormones to our foods, just certain foods that we're eating that affect our womb. So yes, things like PCOS. Having PCOS, a lot of women aren't able to ovulate.
Yeah.
And a lot of women don't realize they have PCOS. And so many women do until it's too late.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure that you're eating foods according to your specific condition. So with PCOS, you have to eat foods that don't trigger your blood sugar, for example. So you have to manage your refined carbohydrate intake specifically. Make sure that if you're eating white rice, you're maybe not just eating it alone, but or with just plantain, you're pairing it with some chicken or pairing it with some vegetables just to balance the fiber intake so that it doesn't spike your blood sugar. And also even fibroids, just making sure you're eating, you know, your leafy greens. Fibroids prevent a lot of women from giving birth. So make sure you eat like your leafy greens, fibrous foods. So
that's really now that we're having that, I'm remembering because it was something that because my diet before was terrible, and I think it shows, even though like it's a weird one, because for girls out there that are slimmer, don't be fooled because just because you're slim doesn't mean you're healthy, because inside I wasn't feeling good. And the cramps and the nostalgia, the migraines, all of these things are part of your diet, as well as, you know, your water intake and things like that. So this conversation is very important for us women, because it's not, even if you're not planning on having children right now, if you start now, when the time does come for you to, you know, now start giving, because your body goes through a lot. And I don't think people realize, now that I've done it, it's like, whoa. And I'm like, I might not do that again. But
you don't know. And that's why it's important to just go for a checkup, because you never know. Because I also found that I have fibroids as well. And I wouldn't have known unless I went for my PCOS checkup. So and I think especially with PCOS, like, sorry for the men out there, but I'm very passionate about this topic.
In fact, we're not sorry.
Passionate.
You need to know.
You need to know. It's
your
true.
sisters,
Your sisters
your
and
daughter,
everything.
everybody. You need to know. Okay.
Because so with PCOS, I had a lot of symptoms that I thought were normal. And if you go to the doctor, a normal doctor would just say, "Oh, it's fine." Maybe, and a lot of those symptoms are, you know, things like gaining weight or not being able to lose weight easily. A lot of them with PCOS don't lose weight easily. So if you have that, go to a doctor and get it checked out. You never know what it is.
And
it's
be
not
consistent.
Exactly. But you also have to be careful, because a lot of doctors jump straight to, just lose weight. But that's not the issue. The issue is I can't lose weight. Because, you know, they recommend just lose weight. So that's why you have to just manage your food choices. But definitely get checked out, because your nutrition has to be personalized to you. To you specifically. And I preach a lot about, I'm a carb protector, so I'm always like trying to defend carbs. Like, guys, don't like demonize carbs. Let's not. I'm always like, guys,
my
don't.
Chips, my rice, my bread, like, I like it.
I'm like, no, so I'm always promoting eat like fibrous carbs and things like that. But I found out through like my own personal PCOS journey and changing my diet that what's worked for me is actually managing my carbs, and it's so sad for me, you know. So you have to find something. You have to know your body and tailor your nutrition to you specifically. So it's worth getting checked out, especially women, you know.
I think it's very, very important because at the same time that we're looking after our hair, our makeup, our nails and all of that, we look good on the outside. We really do need to think about what we're putting into our bodies.
Exactly.
When it comes to my water intake, I definitely need to increase that one. I know that one for a fact. And I can feel the difference when I haven't had enough water and things like that. So I think having this conversation is really important. And I really want you guys to go to her page because it actually looks really good. Like you're thinking, oh, healthy eating. Like I followed her randomly because I can't even remember how I came across your page, but I saw Plantain.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put, I saw plantain, I saw chickpea, grilled chicken, I saw the greens, and I do like my veg. So I'm actually a veggie person. I like the broccoli, I like the pea, I love my veg. So I have added it more. So even the meal I had earlier, I had chicken, veg, and plantain.
No, like I love food. Like I love food so much. You know, that's why I share lots of recipes because I genuinely love food. So, and your healthy diet doesn't have to be boring. I'm always about promoting that. It doesn't have to be a punishment. You shouldn't look at your plate and not look forward to it. You should look forward to your meal and it should also benefit you at the same time, you know? So why not?
Amazing, amazing. So if there's no more questions, but if you've got questions, send them through. We're just going to go through like your socials, where we find you, what you've got coming up. Do you actually do meal preps as well as kind of coaching?
So I don't actually do meal prep. I think for me at the moment it's a bit more time consuming. Who knows? Maybe in future. Maybe in future. But I mainly do coaching, one-on-one coaching, and then I also provide meal plans or personalized recipes for people just to incorporate into their diets for healthy living, weight loss, weight gain, whatever you want. So my Instagram, YouTube, TikTok are all Best Body Africa, and you can visit bestbodyafrica.com. Send me a DM if you want.
I know how I found you. I actually searched African healthy food accounts. I actually searched it. I remember now, and it was the only one that came up.
Oh, really? Are you serious? Wow.
In the UK, anyway. There's some in America, but again,
it's not even a flex because there should be more. We need more, and that's why I was saying about, you know, when you search healthy food, you don't see African foods. We need more voices from the continent speaking.
To be honest, even like, for example, my first trimester of pregnancy, I couldn't really eat anything except my African food. That was the only thing that was going down.
And so I'm sure your GP didn't even recommend any food that was on it.
No, they were telling me to eat avocado, and I don't like avocado.
You don't, So exactly. So all my plans are 100% customized to a person's diet and taste. Taste is so important. So I always work their plans and their recipes around their taste. I think I more also do the recipes as opposed to giving a strict meal plan. I think it gives people more of the flexibility to choose. I think you should be able to have some flexibility to choose, and that's what often leads to people leading as, like, you know, succeeding at achieving their goals and making it a habit. So,
I think that was my issue. I think my kind of main problem was, you know, with meal prep, it's like the same thing every day. And it's like, I don't want that. I want to be able to have variety, even if it's the same thing one week and then another week it's different. But it's things that I love to eat.
Exactly.
So I think that's really important. Question, how do we book? How do we book you?
So you can email contact@bestbodyafrica.com, or you can send me a DM on Instagram and I will.
Ladies, gentlemen, get into the DMs. The page, honestly, I'm not even just saying this because I'm here. When I saw that I was interviewing her, I said, this makes sense. Because
Plantain lover circle.
Listen, after this live, I'm going to be picking her brain. So you asked her.
Go ahead.
Listen, you didn't ask the right question. You people, you should have been utilizing this conversation, but it's fine. You can DM me, message me, and I'll ask the questions for you. Is it true that you do Caribbean food too?
Yeah, I mean, I do. It's not. I mean, my main clientele are people from the African continent. So but I do coach people like everywhere. So in the US, I have a Caribbean client as well. So she showed me like what she ate. I'm not Caribbean, so I'm not as familiar. But when I look at your diet, and I do like background research on different cultural foods, and I try to adjust your recipes to suit those foods specifically.
Someone said we need a healthy Jamaican.
So if you want Caribbean meal plan, you can message me. I can create one for you. But our foods are quite similar.
They're quite similar,
you know?
To be fair. I think the way we cut plantain is different, you know. They cut the plantain
Plantain, yeah. Almost forced me. People try to fight me on Instagram for that. Plantain. I'm like, it's not as wrong. They're just different.
They taste the same.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm sure that whatever you want to eat, it can be tailored to your diet.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
everything.
It's just about kind of understanding. The questions are now coming. You people, I said I'm leaving. You now. I want to spend some time. Question: Can people emotionally eat?
Yes, 100%. I think we all do it. I'm bored, I want to eat. I'm sad, I want to eat. I mean, it happens. It's a natural human reaction. But that's why,
Which is the habits you were speaking about.
It's the habits, exactly.
Yeah.
So in my coaching, I teach people what to do instead of, maybe thinking I have to go straight. So like, for example, if you are sad and you want something to eat and you go to the grocery store, don't go to the grocery store sad. Listen, it's like literally like it sounds so silly, but it's actually
The
very
fact is
practical
just
thing.
don't do it.
Just don't do it because you say I'm sad, I feel sorry for myself. Let me go and forget this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a habit thing.
I think I'm lucky because I don't really like junk food like that.
Yeah.
Like, for example, ice cream. I know a lot of people. Ice cream is like their go-to snack. Like I'm not really an ice cream fan like that unless it's like a cornetto or something. But like, what would you say is the most common like kind of quick grab healthy snack that you would suggest? Let's start off with if you want to pick a packet of what's this or what would the or be for you?
So I think there are a lot of healthy brand foods out there, which some of them are good, some of them are natural and organic. So maybe like foods made with chickpeas, try to just look at the ingredients label and whatever food has the most natural looking, I actually can tangibly see what this ingredient will be like in real life. Food, try to opt for those, try to go for those options. Obviously, I mean, generic fruits and vegetables first. Nuts. Baked plantain chips are really good. It's like it's very easy to make. I think you can even air fry them. Baked plantain chips are really good. But you can eat any snack within a portion. So if you go for a pack of Wotsits, maybe try to have like half a pack and add like a piece of fruit on the side, so you can enjoy the taste of the Wotsits, so that you're not restricting yourself, but also have the nutrition.
So even though you want to enjoy the junk, so to speak, have something to kind of counteract.
And that's why I say try thinking of what you can add
rather than take away,
because it's all about the proportions. So because a bag of Wotsits isn't inherently, you're not just going to be you're not going to gain 10 kg after eating Wotsits.
So someone said, I hate the taste of water, but I often get migraines. What advice would you give? I find it hard to force myself.
So a lot of people think your water intake is just glasses of water, but it's actually the water in food. So the water in fruit counts, water in your coffee, water in milk, water in your different ingredients. So you don't have to just drink water. Make sure you're getting it from other sources as well, whether it's in tea, whether it's in squash, just flavor your water or get it from other sources as well. It all counts.
Which is why making sure you have like an app to count what you're actually consuming is important, because there's no point kind of trying to change anything if you actually don't know what you're taking in. Because Jade, you might be actually drinking enough water in the other things that you're drinking. I think with I get migraines a lot, so I tend to drink. There's like a infusion bag that I drink with hot water, or I just put it in cold water and I drink that. Gives it a bit of flavor. And it's just something to drink along the way. So that I could advise, because I do get migraines.
It doesn't have to be plain water. Plain water can be boring.
Very. I think there's any more questions. I eat so much sweets, it's so bad. Yep. Sis, I feel you.
I mean, too much sugar is definitely not good for us.
But I've kind of started replacing it with the nuts, the mixed nuts. With the raisins and the dried fruit.
That's where that tip comes in handy, like maybe reduce the quantity of sweets that you're eating and just pair them with more nutritious foods. And over time, your taste will change. It will actually change.
Sorry, I just read a comment. I deserve to eat this. Meanwhile, be complaining when your bellies are rolling.
That's actually funny. I mean,
It It is a lot of us. We do.
Yeah.
Leave us to complain small. No,
Yeah.
I'm joking.
I mean, enjoy.
Fundamentally, but also add
enjoy,
the good
but be
things.
aware because you want to be alive to enjoy it. So
would you be kind of coming up with an app or anything soon? I think because the MyFitnessPal is great.
Yeah.
But again, like you said, it's limited for our culture because they do have Plantain on there, but I think Plantain is quite it's in other countries as well as Africa and Caribbean. So would you look into that kind of direction of going into an app?
I mean, spoiler, but I don't want to give anything away, but let's just say we'll be solving that problem.
Amazing.
Very soon.
Amazing. Yeah. So how you will know is by following. Following, subscribe, get on the TikTok, all of that good stuff, and share as well. I think it's really important to share what you're doing. I think I'm going to do that a bit more as well. Try and put my stuff out there based on what I've learned, because I have learned a lot from being on your page.
I'm glad.
Hopefully it makes a difference, and I can show you guys that difference.
Yeah.
An app would be lit. Yes, it would.
Got you.
Well, this has been a really good conversation, and again, like I said, we're gonna take this off air. I've got so much to say. So we're just gonna carry on.
Yeah.
I've got a new friend, guys. Whether she wants
Thank you so much. It's been great, and thank you guys. Like, your comments are hilarious.
Honestly,
they're having so much fun in there.
They are. They're having as much fun as we are. So again, from the House of Medics, I just want to thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for your questions. Thank you all for your vibes, because I think it helps us to kind of interact here. And it has been a really good conversation. And I want to say thank you, because what is important out there is, taking those chances, because you didn't have to put it out there. You could have been in your house doing your own thing, making your meals for yourself, but you've actually put it out there. You've actually, solved the problem for a lot of people. So make sure you share her page, guys. Make sure you follow. Make sure you share recipes as well. And just do and feel better. It is really good to kind of be, like I said, feel good from the inside and out.
Exactly.
So I think, we have another question, last minute question. It's hot in Africa and chilled water tastes so good, but we are advised to drink room temperature water. Is cold water bad? Is that bad for your body?
No.
No. Where do people get these from?
I mean, that's why I do like a lot of myth busting on the platform, because the things that some people say, I'm like, where did you hear this from? Like, this is totally wrong. But no,
it would make sense. If you're hot, you're going to be more dehydrated, so you're going to, regardless of whether it's warm or cold.
Or if like maybe you have a sore throat, obviously drink warmer water, so. But it's just as good for you.
Yeah, I personally don't like cold water, just because I feel like I can't drink it quick enough. Because it's water.
I prefer warm water, to be honest.
I prefer room temperature. So, and that was a really
drink your water. Don't let anyone lie to you, please. drink your water.
Drink it, tea. Okay, cool. So again, just to remind us, where can we find you?
Yes, so Best Body Africa on Instagram, TikTok, and I have a YouTube channel as well. bestbodyafrica.com for my website, and email contact@bestbodyafrica.com if you would like a plan or coaching.
Amazing stuff. And again, this is the House of Medics platform, so you can find us. Remember, I told you I'm part of the family. So you can find us on all the shows. I'm going to pick up my phone just so that I can read it, because I don't want to get anything wrong. So we are on the website, houseofmedics.org. TikTok, we are House of Medics. Instagram is the same, we are House of Medics. Twitter and LinkedIn, House of Medics. So make sure you're following all the platforms. Make sure you're subscribing to this channel if you're not already. And follow me as well. I've been your host today, Gani B. I am Gani B on Instagram. You can follow me. I think I'm going to start this journey.
Do it.
I think I'm going to.
Let's do it. We need to chat more.
I need something on my page, because right now, if you go on my page right now, it's literally just one picture of me and my daughter. I removed everything. So I said, I'm going to start, but I don't know where to start. So I think this is a good place.
It's a good time to start.
It's a good time to start. Yes, definitely. So continue to follow us. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time. We are here every other week, speaking to amazing people within the medical industry. I'll be back soon. I don't know when. I kind of just come as and when. So I'll be back soon. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you soon. Bye.
Bye.